Again, my job is to teach the real truth. My job is to explain how things really are. And oftentimes I'll give a presentation and I'll always doubt myself. I'm not so arrogant as to think I'm the greatest teacher that ever lived. Hell, heavens no. I doubt my ability sometimes to properly explain things as they really are to people that have no clue, to the people of this world who have never heard anything like the real truth. But again, in order to take away the excuses that any human being living upon this earth might have, after they die, after they realize what kind of human being they were on earth, no one is going to be allowed a excuse that says, if I only would have known, if I only would have known the real truth, then I would have been a different person. That's just not going to happen on my watch. I'm going to make sure that I explain things properly. Okay, there's one thing that I saw in my video that I try, let me tell you how I deal with you, and I have to apologize to you a little bit. Sincerely, this is a sincere apology to you folks. I know I'm talking to very ignorant and stupid people. I'm talking to people that don't have a clue about reality. It doesn't matter how many books you've read. It doesn't matter how many degrees you have. I know that unless you have a transfigured brain, unless you have a brain, again, let's go ahead and make this example perfectly clear so that you understand. Let me finish that sentence. Unless you have a transfigured brain, as it has been explained to you in this work, it is impossible for you to understand the real truth, things as they really are. It's absolutely impossible. So I gave this example, and I have terrible artistic skills. These are two different human beings, two different representations of the same, of you, same person. These are genderless. Okay, go with me here, because these stick figures that I use to illustrate and to teach are genderless. All human beings, no matter what advanced state that they're in, all human beings have a head and eyes and a nose and ears. They have bodies exactly like you do. The human body is recognizable by its constant and consistent forms. Now, when it comes to beauty, beauty is simply the perfect form of a human being that we all can recognize. We will all recognize. There's nobody on this earth that is telling the truth that'll see a picture of a person who's not attractive and a person that is attractive. There is no doubt in anyone's mind, in any human's mind, of what an attractive person looks like, or a beautiful person, and what an unattractive person looks like. There is just no honest difference. We know. Humans know. It's the symmetry. The symmetry between the eyes, the ears, the shape, the mouth, the head, everything. There are beautiful people as we see them, and there are very unattractive people as we see them. This is a fact. It doesn't matter what type of person you think you are and your dishonesty to say, well, everybody's beautiful in their own way. No, they are not. Only in an advanced world can all human beings be found that are beautiful. There's nobody. There's no such thing as a person in an advanced human world who is not beautiful. Let me set this up. I'm sorry. It's just how it is. No, I'm not arrogant. I know what I've said throughout my existence here to get my enemies all fired up. I'm sexier than Jesus. I do not see myself as an extremely attractive man. I know that I'm a little bit above normal. A little bit above normal. And most of the people I deal with are a little bit below normal or at normal. The percentages of highly beautiful, attractive people are small, very small. And there's a purpose for that. There's a purpose. Remember, I've explained that your true self doesn't matter I'm not talking to you people who do not believe that you just think that life is just an accident from a big bang that happened a long time ago, that we were once slime, our ancestors were slime. I'm not talking to you people. I have nothing for you. Just go on with your life, because when you die, you'll find out a completely different thing. Again, the thing that separates these two people, the real you, your true self. Let me put my charts here. The things that separate you are death, as you can relate to it as a mortal upon this earth. And here's my little weeds growing up. My little rest in peace thing. My little weeds. And then birth. How do I symbolize birth? I guess I can just call it birth. Let's just call it birth. Birth. The two events that separate your mortal self from your true self are birth and death. It's very simple. That's the separation. That's it. And this is where time and space comes in. And this is where, as a mortal person living upon this earth, you don't know anything about your true self. It's impossible. You cannot know anything about your true self. You don't even know. You're accepting what I have explained to you on faith. Simply on faith. Laura says a cradle. Man, I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to do a cradle right. Let me see. Let's go here. Let's have this little baby's head poke up here. Little baby's head. And little baby's body. Birth. Cradle. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, these two events are what defines you. You, the only you know. Everything that I've ever been teaching you folks is simply something you've taken on faith. That's it. Now, the critic's enemies are your family and friends, and many of you will say, he's deceiving you. He's deceiving you. He's coming up with things to con you and then you have to ask him, well, what purpose does he have to con me? He doesn't want my money. He doesn't want sex from me. Well, he doesn't want me to follow him. He certainly does not. What is his motivation? He gets just as a kick out of it. He likes doing this behind the scenes. Well, if you've ever been with me behind the scenes, and the only person that you folks know of that's been with me behind the scenes is my ex-wife, Sherry, you will know that I hate doing this. I absolutely detest as a mortal, my mortal self. Let's call my mortal self Christopher. Yes, for a wand. Chris. Let's have Chris be my mortal self. And let's have Christopher be my true self. Anyone who's ever been associated with Chris would know that he is indeed a unique, different individual. I do not have the same propensity of happiness that other people have. And I cannot stand platitudes. I cannot stand accolades. I cannot stand having people see me in public and say, oh man, it's so nice to meet you. Oh, it's a pleasure. I cannot stand that. And so therefore, that's why I live my life the way that I do. I just cannot stand it. I basically, in a symbolic way, I live in a cave. I hardly have any dealings with anybody. The few people that I deal with, it's all about my personal life. People have to help me in my personal life in some way because I do not work. I just do this. This is the only thing that I do. I don't get paid for this either. Those of you who know how I'm supported, it's either by it's the beginning Social Security, or by the generosity of just a couple people. Just a couple people. I don't take anything else from anybody else. I won't allow that. And the only reason why I allow these couple people to help me is because of what I have done for them or will do for them in the future. Okay? And that's it. A quid pro quo. There has to be that. Anybody else that doesn't do anything for me, I absolutely will have nothing to do with them when it comes to taking anything from them. Nothing. So, here's what separates these two. Now this true self, of course, if we can put it in terms of your mortal life. This is pre-mortal. And post-mortal. And here is where religious people don't like the real truth. Even though it stares at them in the face, it makes sense. They get angry when they consider it. But the fact is, if you're going to exist if you'd existed before your birth, that's pre-mortal. And if you're going to exist after your birth, that's post-mortal. It's pretty simple, that. But who are the you? You are the same person you were before your birth that you will be if you actually exist, and you will, after your birth. And this person obviously has nothing to do with this person. Because this person's body and this person's brain, because we're going to talk about the brain. Let's put the brain here. This person's brain, this person, you cannot exist without a body. You cannot. Because there's no other way that, this is the dark matter environment that we have. I always use this dark matter environment to represent the universe as it is seen through your eyes, through your visible eyes. Okay? So, you cannot exist and have an experience. An experience is when there is an energy exchange between the environment in which your body exists and yourself. Okay? This energy exchange gets through your brain through just 5, well, not exactly. There's actually 6. But let's just start with the 5. Through hearing something, seeing something, smelling something, tasting something, and touching something. These are known as the 5 main senses of how your body takes energy from the environment. And as I explained, hopefully yesterday, as it should make sense now, every person has a certain number, a particular number of brain cells. Physical brain cells, mass. Brain cells of mass. And this number of brain cells, and this is where I need to clarify something that I think I explained it wrong yesterday, so I'm going to clarify it. Everybody has a certain number of brain cells. Okay? It's a number of brain cells that as an adult, the number of brain cells don't change. Because if your brain cells, they are masses, they're actual masses. They're energy that's transformed into mass, which makes an atom, which makes a molecule of brain tissue, which creates the neurons in your brain. Every single human being in their adult form has a precise and a finite number of these brain cells. If it weren't so, as I was asked by Tanya yesterday, this expansion of experience, would it cause our brain to grow? It'd have to. If each and every experience that we had in billions and billions and billions of years of existence added a new brain cell to our brain, our head would have to get bigger. And that's why science fiction shows aliens with these huge heads. It's just not so. No matter where you go in this universe, you're going to find that the human form is the same. You'll find the perfect proportion between head and body. There are no giants. There are no dwarfs. These are aberrations that you can find in an imperfect world. Okay? So as the energy of an environment, as I explained yesterday, passes through your senses in to one of these senses here, as it does, it affects these brain cells. And these brain cells begin to grow what science calls, the easiest term, are dendrites. Dendrites. They look like trees. Oh, the tree of life, the tree of experience, the dendrites. Okay, the energy affects these brain cells and causes these brain cells to react to the energy of the environment. So the energy of the environment coming through the senses causes these brain cells to react. And so the brain cells will actually change. They won't grow, but the only thing that will grow, the only thing that will change are the dendrites, or the structure of the cell itself that does not, the brain itself, there's all this dark space in between each brain cell. Okay, see in between each brain cell here? The human brain is precisely created to allow dendrites to grow in these dark spaces. And you'll never have more experiences than your brain can handle. It's impossible. You can't. All the experiences you have, they're going to be in your brain. But I explained something. I got to make this clear, and you guys help me to know how clear this is. Okay, there's one other sense that I haven't explained here. Okay, remember, energy coming from an environment in which you live. An environment is always, you have to, in order to be a physical body, a mass, which is energy that has transformed into atoms, then molecules, and then the structures of the physical body. You must live on a planet. You must be part of another mass, which is a planet, as we should see them. Okay? This environment, the energy coming from that environment, the energy that environment creates goes through your senses and affects your brain cells that are already in your brain. They're already in your brain. It affects them, and this is where your experiences come in. I explained yesterday that the people upon this earth, except for the first dispensation of time, billions of years ago, when human beings existed for almost 2 million years before they destroyed themselves, most of themselves, they lived on this earth with the right type of body for this earth. Okay, so remember, this mortal self, when I'm talking about your mortal self, I'm going to be talking about the earth experience. When I'm talking about your true self, I'm talking about where you lived, where your advanced human body is, pre-mortal, and where you find yourself when you die. When you die, and this is so. I like to call this this advanced world according to how my predecessor named it, Joseph Smith, who taught these same things only in symbolism, Kolob. Okay. Now remember this energy that goes in from the environment and affects your cells. Well, there's another energy that actually does come into your head. So let's go ahead over here on this earth, and let's put these similar brain cells. So remember something. This is where I said this in my presentation, which isn't exactly correct because I'm always very aware that I'm teaching kindergarten kids how to do calculus, how to do algebra, who don't have a clue what I'm talking about. So I break it down into math. I say this to kids. How many of you understand what I'm saying? Adin plus dava equals 3. 3. Adin plus dava equals 3. Who understood what I just said? I'm going to wait, give you a few minutes and get this. Who understand what I just said? Okay? This will make all the sense in the world once I get done explaining this right. So your earth brain, you will find out that when you die, that you don't have, your true self doesn't have any bigger brain than the normal sized head in proportion. Your head is proportioned to your body, and that's what creates this beautiful form that we call human beings. Okay? So Laura says Russian. Yep. There you go. Laura knows Russian. All I said to people that don't know Russian is 1 + 2 = 3. That's it. That's all I said. So, but to your brain, if you don't know Russian, if you haven't had that experience in your brain of learning to count in Russian, один, два, три, четыре, пять, шесть, восемь, девять, десять. I used to be able to speak a language better, but my brain is deteriorated a little bit. Anyway, so you have a certain amount of brain cells in your brain that the environment in which you live can affect these brain cells as energy from your environment comes in from the earth. Now remember, the environment that you live on is this earth. This is the planet. This is the mass. This mass is very unique in and of itself. Okay, it exists for a certain purpose, but your body is part of this earth. So the energy that comes into your ears that you hear, that you smell, that you see, that you taste, and that you touch, or what comes through your skin. Okay, the feeling that it's a touch. Your skin feels warmth. It feels things. Things can go through your skin. The skin's actually a living organ. It's part of an organ. It's part of an organ that allows energy from the earth to come into your body and affect these cells, thereby giving you experience. So this energy comes and affects these cells. But the huge difference between how these bodies on earth were supposed to be created and were created in the beginning and how they're created now is that you acquire a brain from two other individuals living upon this earth, male and female, or whatever. It doesn't matter what gender, whatever. None of it matters. But you acquire your brain from these two individuals, from what we call the DNA patterns of their brains. So instead of being born with a clean slate, you already have all these brain cells that are actual photographs or pictures or copies. There you go. Copies, exact copies of your parents' brain. Thus, you have characteristics that were passed on to you by your parents. Okay? So right there with that fact, that you have a brain that isn't of all you're doing, that you're not responsible for that. This very fact allows for an excuse. So let's do this. Excuse, and let's note the excuses we have on this earth. We have an excuse. Put a line here. One. Excuse is that our brain, we are affected. How we act, how we think, how we operate on this earth is affected by the DNA patterns passed on to us by parents who certainly aren't advanced parents. Look at your parents, for God's sakes. We can see that because we look like our parents. We have the only way that our body was created is from copying the DNA patterns of these parents that aren't perfect, and they're certainly far from it. Most of our parents aren't beautiful. That's why we're not beautiful. Okay? These are just very common sense. So our excuse is our body is not ours alone. We share it with DNA that's been passed on to us. We're talking about being passed on us trillions by trillions and trillions and trillions of people. Go ahead. Do your genealogy and go back 10,000 years and find out 10,000 years, your ancestors, how many ancestors you had. Just two by two. 10,000 years, you're going to find out you have trillions and trillions and trillions of ancestors that passed on their DNA to other generations. This is not the way that we were supposed to be having this earth experience. This was not. Okay? Our true self, however, was created on the earth, in the planetary system, where we wanted to have our main experience. A body was created, it has to be, so that the energy could come in. But our brain was created differently. In the future on this earth, it's coming soon, we will figure this out, and we will no longer have sexual reproduction. It will no longer exist. When science figures out the brain better, sexual reproduction, the passing on of your DNA will be gone, eliminated. When you understand what CRISPR is, the CRISPR science, when you understand where they're going with this, what they're doing with this, how they're going to be able to create a brain, a massive brain, without anything passed on to it. Pure slate, like this. In other words, if I was a god and I wanted to go down, if I was a god and I wanted to create an earth how I wanted to create it, I'd say, okay, let's go down to that matter unorganized in the dark matter, and let's organize an earth like the ones we have heretofore formed. And let's place humans on that planet And what should we do? Oh, let's create him in our own image. Let's create them. Yeah, let's create them in our own image. Since this person is a God, a very advanced human, wouldn't it make sense that you'd create, and your God, you're created a body upon this earth? You'd give that body this clear, clean slate. That's how it was first done. And it all got corrupted. All this will be explained in that final book that is written. It'll be explained better. But I need to explain things. Okay? Oh, Tanya's got a good thing. What's the purpose of this work when we can't take away all excuses anyway? Or are we working toward getting rid of them all? All right, Tanya, just hang on there, girl, because you're going off base here. But the fact is, I've explained this before, we're never going to have tons of people follow this work. We're not going to do it. But every single human on this earth will have that excuse. Nobody was there to explain it to me. Nobody was there to explain it to me. Yeah, nobody was there to explain it to me. So, therefore, a person will forgive themselves. This person here will say, well, my father was a murderer. Therefore, I had a propensity to murder, to rape, to lust, to do these things, these terrible things to other people because my ancestors passed that all on to me. How many of you have had dreams and you've done something in your dream that you never would imagine doing in your real life? Yeah. You see? So the whole thing, Tony, I just said this. I've said this time and time again. This solar system is going to be destroyed. This solar system is not fulfilling the measure of its creation. As we go back through its creation, its beginning, the details of all the planets, moons, everything that's been created, and what happened during that first 2 million years of human existence upon this planet, highly intelligent, highly advanced technology, how it all came to pass, and how all this corrupt form, this sexual reproduction started, which is pretty much all you got to do is think of an artificial intelligent robot that was programmed to replicate itself when it wore out. And that'll be explained to you. This is not the way, but this gives us an excuse. Everybody has an excuse. But the big excuse is this, Tanya. When all these people die, and they consider they're going to remember, I'm going to explain that today. I'm going to explain how they remember life upon this earth, how they can remember it. Guess what? They're going to realize the real truth is being explained. And then they have to visit that experience when they were alive and think, for example, Tanya's husband, his name is Chris. I know a little bit about Tanya's personal story, and he's highly entrenched in the LDS doctrine, in the Mormon doctrine. He believes in that stuff, believes in the priesthood and all that stuff. Well, how do you think he's going to feel when he realizes that right there, he had his wife, I think they're getting divorced. He had a wife that they found the real truth, and she finally figured it out, and he refused. You look how close you were with him, Tanya, how close. I remember once talking to you a few years ago, and you called him your best friend. Is he your best friend now? Does he understand anything that you're saying? Yeah, when he dies, he's going to realize that he couldn't give up who he was. He couldn't give up the values and the happiness and joy that he got from being a member of that religion or doing what he's doing. He couldn't give it up for the real truth. But if the real truth wasn't there, how would he ever know? He wouldn't. I've explained these things. These will be explained further on. There is no hope for this solar system, folks. I'm going to tell you that right now. Let's just get it out there. If you think that being involved in this work is going to somehow help the world to change, you are an arrogant, narcissistic idiot. It has nothing to do with that. I know that. Why do you think I don't even like my job? I mean, I like my job only because I'm fulfilling the measure of my own creation, why I'm here upon this earth. But there's no hope for this world. And that's why we have a couple hundred people that pay attention to these things. Nobody wants to know the real truth. They don't. Why would you want to know the real truth that when you die, when you're born, your head's filled of all your parents' bull crap, and then you have all these other experiences which aren't real truth. Religion affects your brain. All these different things affect your brain so that you can't even understand the real truth and you won't accept it. But if the real truth wasn't there, you have an excuse. Now, you have an excuse for being a murderer and a rapist. You have an excuse for all those things because that could be part of the DNA that was passed on to you from parents long ago, from the trillions of people in your ancestry upon this earth. Figure it out, folks. Figure it out. Start today, and you have you and then two parents. They had two parents, and go back 10,000 years. You're going to see absolutely trillions of human beings who passed on their experiences in the last 10,000 years alone that affect your brain. But you will not have a, Marie says, if the universe is destroyed. Marie, here's my problem with teaching people. Did I say the universe? Maybe I did. I slipped up then. Our solar system is going to be destroyed, Marie. Children, little kids, listen. Our solar system, and this is why I have to go back and clarify things. Our solar system is going to be destroyed, not the universe, for God's sakes. Our true self exists in its own solar system that obviously won't be destroyed. It doesn't need to be destroyed because it is fulfilling the measure of the purpose for which it was created. Sorry, I didn't mean to come down like that. I just want to make sure. If I said universe, I don't think I did. You see, folks, how did Marie White, how did she hear universe was going to be destroyed? How did she hear that? Did any of the rest of you hear that? And now you'll see my great frustration in trying to teach. Because what I say, I probably said solar system because I think that's what I said. But Marie heard universe. She heard universe. Did I make the mistake? Did I make the mistake? So, you see what's the problem is here we got? How can I teach the real truth when I don't even know if the words that are coming out of my mouth are being properly understood by the people that listen to me? It is so frustrating, so frustrating. But I appreciate many of you. Marie has been around for quite a long time. I just don't understand. So you come up with these questions, even the questions that Tanya's asking. I'm just like, oh my God, please. Please. So unless I ask a specific question from you group of children who are ignorant kindergartners, I'm trying to teach Russian and calculus too. Unless I ask you a specific question, would you mind just keeping silent and not disrupting the class with your questions? If I ask then, because I did, the Sunday meeting during the sermon, I opened it up for discussion and nobody asked me anything. Anyway, what I'm trying to do is clarify things. So I got off track here a little bit. So let's go back. Anyways, this should all make sense to you. The human brain, depending on the world in which you exist. Again, Marie, the universe is filled with an infinite amount of solar systems. Every single one of those lights out there that you see is a sun, or the sun being reflected off a planet or something like that. These are advanced worlds. I've tried to get science to come along to understand that, geez, just go with what you can observe with our Earth. Don't take these pictures and photographs that you see and you imagine out of your telescopes and you try to invent things of what it looks like out there. For God's sakes, just look around you. These are advanced worlds. Advanced worlds always fulfill the measure of creation. Okay. Your brain is commensurate with the planet on which your body was created. The number of brain cells that you have is commensurate. What does that mean? Commensurate. It's proportion to the galaxy in which your body can be found. And I explained that wrong yesterday because I said, trying to tell human beings that live in the Milky Way galaxy. Remember what I said? I said, look, let's go out here. Let's get out here and go to this. Look at how kind people are. Nobody wanted to say Marie. He didn't say that. Somehow you heard it, Marie, but he didn't say that. But this is your brains. This is your brains working, folks. Don't worry about it too much. I understand. Yeah, none of this really matters. So Gary Hagen says, I said solar system, went back and said, I know I said solar system. But I've seen this all the time that I'm sorry. You can imagine me having to deal with this stuff. What I said yesterday, which wasn't correct, is when you have a body created when your body exists in the Milky Way galaxy, for example, the number of brain cells you have is the number of solar systems and planetary systems that are habitable in this solar system. I did that to create a number for you, an actual number that was easy for you to visualize. The fact is that your brain cells, the number of brain cells you have, is commensurate with the galaxy in which you live. In other words, what you need to use a brain for, what you need to use a body for. So here we are, for example, in the Milky Way galaxy. This is just, I could only teach you guys 1 + 2 = 3 because you only know 1 + 2 = 3. You don't know Adin plus Dava equals 3. Milky Way galaxy. Again, I talked about the Andromeda, that the science envisions of this other solar system. I'm not sorry, this other galaxy out there. Let me explain it this way. That's what science calls it. Andromeda. Their bodies, of course, here. Human beings that live here. Your brain cells are commensurate. Your body is proportioned to the number of brain cells that you have. Their abilities are proportionate or relative to the galaxy in which you live. This Andromeda galaxy is a galaxy, I'll use it for want of a better term, of creators and overseers. Okay? If you were to travel to this galaxy here and see these people, you would find that they look like you. Very beautiful people, however, male and female. These are the only galaxies anywhere in the universe where you'll find advanced worlds of highly intelligent beings, the most advanced you can get, of males and females, gendered. Everybody else in advanced world, when you die, okay, here you are. This is you again. This is Earth. Down here at Earth. And here you are in your advanced world. Premortal life, postmortal life, advanced world. Okay? As I explained yesterday, this Earth was created for a purpose. It was created so this person, this advanced human's brain, could connect here. Connect to this one. And that's where I had these two brains that I just showed you. I'm sorry, I'm frustrated. I just think, oh my God. Oh my God. I don't know if I'm a good teacher or not. Anyway. Your brains, okay? The number of cells that you have, not just the number of the cells, the number of your cells are consistent throughout the human body. If you had more brain cells, the actual mass, you'd have this huge body. And as you go throughout this universe and confront your overseer, if you were to see an overseer, have the same size of head that you have. But that person's ability to utilize the brain cells that are in the person's brain are commensurate with the galaxy in which they live. Okay, let's put it this way. By using the Earth. This is what science says. This isn't true, but you've probably heard it growing up. That human beings, a mortal person, only uses 10% of their brain capacity. And that probably is just true. Okay, a mortal. Okay, let's put 3 different people here. Heads. your advanced self, your true self, relatively, and I'm doing this the best I can, folks, please. And so people are going to get out their math. When I say things like this, I shouldn't have said it the way that I did. The brain cells are the amount of the human habitable planets in a galaxy. What I wanted to do is relate to you that you can have an experience when you belong to a galaxy and you have a body in that galaxy, you can have an experience that anybody else can have. Anybody can have it, no matter what they are, living on any of these planets and any of these solar systems. This is your true self, and let's say that your brain capacity here is 30%. Will a creator overseer? 100%. 100%. Okay, that's the difference. The way that the energy from, number one, the energy that is given off from this galaxy, right here, from this galaxy, the energy that is given off, these brains can deal with that the way that they're created. They're created to deal with the energy given off in this galaxy, just like you are here. That's why when you die and you return to this true self here, you're going to realize there's not any difference. You're going to see in your experience, you're not even going to wake up. This experience is going to end. So remember when I said that we have eyes, nose, mouth, ears, and hands, and touch that get energy through the energy from the environment goes in there and it affects our brain cells? I think I explained that pretty good, the best I could. Well, again, there's other energy that's shared here between these two brains. There's an energy. There's an energy that's shared between the two brains. However, listen closely. What is the source of this energy here? Okay, it's shared. The source of the energy between these two brains is not the environment in which the body and the actual brain exist. It is not. The source of the energy that's shared is the brain itself. It doesn't come from an environment. So, if I may, this energy that comes from the brain is what is known as a thought. It's energy that does not come from the environment itself. This is the energy that is generated from the brain's existence. So, in essence, you can imagine that you have a galaxy of energy and a galaxy of neurons inside your head. Okay? And this galaxy of energy that's inside of your head is creating energy as it functions properly, as it takes in energy from the environment into, and this energy goes up here and affects the planetary systems or the dendrites in the cells of your brain. It affects these things. Okay? When, in fact, you think about something, you have a thought, there's energy that is generated inside your brain. It's what humans can do. It does not come from the environment. It's manufactured inside of your brain. Okay, this is why I say if you have another advanced human right here, this energy does not affect your brain cells at all, but it allows for you to have experiences. This energy, it allows your true self to have the immortal experience. But what happens if this energy that takes place inside your brain does not come from an outside source? Then indeed it does not create long-lasting, effectual, eternal changes to your brain cells. This is what dreams are. This is what dreams are. Okay? So, as you dream as a mortal, your brain, the energy from your brain, how it works, and I'm not going to go into that right now. That's probably too highly complicated for even a scientist. The energy of your brain and your thoughts creates these crazy dreams. But they're created based on all the different experiences, the dendrites of your brain cells. So you're having this dream experience that isn't real. But while you're having it, it sure seems real. But as you're having this dream experience, there is nothing that's coming in from your environment that's affecting this experience. Nothing. It's just happening. Therefore, when you understand it correctly, you'll understand that your true self is seeing things, hearing things, tasting things, touching things in your true world, your post-mortal and pre-mortal world. And it is not affecting this shared experience that your mortal self is having. It's not affected by that. It's occurring as if it were a dream. So, I just said this. When you die, you're dead. Rest in peace. Okay? This is severed. It no longer exists. If this no longer exists, and your brain as an advanced human being and this mortal experience did not change the dendrites of your brain here, how in the world do you remember your mortal experience? I was always going to wonder if anybody's going to be intelligent enough to ask me this question. Again, you cannot remember something. You cannot remember something that is not a physical part of your brain. Listen again. Your brain, the advanced brain, how the brain works, as you have experiences from your environment, your brain cells are affected by that. These become your actual experiences. These become your memories. Okay? I explained this yesterday by using Tanya sitting on a pot going crap, taking a crap. Why in the world would Tanya's true self want to smell, hear, taste, or touch that experience of taking a crap? Well, they wouldn't. Because that experience isn't part of Tanya's true self, and it never will be. In order for Tanya to even smell what comes out her butt, what's flushed down the toilet, her brain must be connected to this mortal brain through a shared energy. And only then would Tanya's true self be able to smell the shit coming out of her butt while she's taking a crap. But why in the world would her true self care about those things? Your true self doesn't. So then, how is it that when this link is severed, how are we going to remember all of these lives we had? Because trust me, go back, folks, do the math. Okay, let me tell you again. Go back, here's you. When you do this math, the universe is going to make more sense to you. You came, according to how it's done on this earth for the last 10,000 years. 10,000 years, I want you to do it. Somebody can do this in math sometime. It's going to take you a while. Figure it out. You had two parents. They had two parents. For 10,000 years, all this was going on, and so on and so forth. I want you to take your ancestry back 10,000 years into the past. The number of ancestors that contributed to your brain, to you, who you are trillions and trillions, probably quadrillions, trillions upon trillions. Figure it out. With that being known, you have to ask yourself, what the hell? There's been that many people living upon this earth in 10,000. Figure it out. That's just you. That's you. But now take the 8 billion people that are all living on this earth and do the same thing. The amount of experiences in humans is going to blow your mind. And then you're going to ask yourself, where are all these people? What happened to all these people? And what does it actually mean? When you know the real truth, you'll find out that a few generations ago, just a few generations ago, You ready? Come on, folks. Help me. Come on, children. This is you. You. Just a few generations ago. Sometimes this is you. How? How could your parent be you? Yeah. How could your parent be you? This is how. Mom, this is how it's done sexually. Dad, sperm goes in mom, and this baby starts to develop, and dad dies. Dad dies before this baby's born, and therefore the connection between this dad's true self is done. Baby is born. Baby is born wrapped in swaddling clothes. Dad's spirit connects to baby's head. And that's how it's done. And that's why you go back 10,000 years and you'll see from the math that there's trillions, even quadrillions, probably quadrillions of ancestors. You'd think, well, how can that be possible? How can that be possible? Yeah. It's because there's only 15 plus billion advanced human beings for whom this solar system and this earth was created. And those 15 billion keep coming back. They keep coming back. And they keep coming back. They can come back as a parent, as a grandparent, as a great-grandparent. But when you understand this incredible real truth, you begin to see that there's in 10,000 years, no, you didn't have trillions and quadrillions of ancestors really as an advanced human. That you were that same person many times in the past. Why is that important to understand? Because all these people passed on these experiences to you. And advanced humans know that. Yeah. The fact is, you created all those experiences. If you were a terrible person in the past, terrible human being, which most of you are, and you just don't understand how, when it comes to an advanced, compared to an advanced human being, mortals are not good people. So if you were terrible in the past, you're going to be terrible this way. So what's the excuse that you have? Okay, let's go back to our excuses. That one's gone. See how easy it is, folks? That one's gone. The fact is, you, your true self, has always been part of your own lineage. This should just, I've never explained this thing to you guys, but now let's get back to this. What happens to your memories? So here you are on Earth. Is this making sense, folks? Is it clarifying more? Okay? This is your true self living on this planet here. This is your mortal self living on Earth here. Living on Earth here. Obviously, your true self's brain only has the capacity to be affected by the daily experiences coming from this earth here. Okay? And then your mortal brain has the energy coming from the earth, which creates your experiences here. So it is. But you're connected through dark matter, through the electric magnetic Wi-Fi of space. It doesn't take, just because you're actually billions and billions, this earth is billions and billions of mortal miles, kilometers away from this one. There is no space and time involved here. The moment anything happens here, it automatically happens here. There's no space and time involved. Yeah, it's only humans that relate in that way. Okay, so when this connection gets severed, because these are just shared energy. In other words, this person actually can share the memories of this person by concentrating on it and wondering what this person's doing. It doesn't go the other way. It doesn't go the other way. It doesn't go the other way. This person cannot know what this person's thinking without a transfiguration of your brain. And that is why I know what I know. That's why I know the real truth about all these things. Just trying to explain to real people, to kids that don't know it. Hey, it doesn't happen. So you're not allowed that. Only a few people are. Only a few people, crap, are allowed that. So here you are, your mortal self, your true self. They both exist in this Milky Way galaxy. Now you're dead. You're living on this earth as your true self now, and you have no more connection to this one. So how do you know what you did here? This person's gone, dead. How do you know what you did? Come on. Let's see. Let's see if any of you kids can get this. How do you know? How do you recall the memories of mortality if, like the memories of a dream, they no longer exist in your brain? In a physical dendrite, you don't have them. Because of all the billions of years that you've actually existed, let's say this, the billions of trillions of experience you've had on this earth, and it hasn't made your true self's brain grow bigger because your true self, as soon as you die, and as soon as whether you were your grandpa or any of your ancestors, it doesn't affect this brain. How do you remember? Glenn, the essence knows. The essence, what are you talking about? See, Glenn Lincoln, the essence is your spirit, right? Is the essence part of you? What are you talking about, Glenn? And see, this is why I tell people, don't even try to explain these things to another person. Don't even fucking try, because you'll deceive that person. Set up your own religion. Gary Hagen, the eternal cloud. Come on, Jerry. Let's go with it, because you're getting there. What do you mean, the eternal cloud? What do you mean? God, I wish we were having this so I could see your face. I'm just trying to see. This is why I do this. Not to prove how stupid you guys are, but to see if what I've taught, the concepts that I've taught in the past, and pulling my hair out with people, if they're understood. That's all it is. Okay? The essence knows. Yeah, Glenn, I understand that. What you've learned from me. You mean what you learned from the Human Reality book. But the Human Reality book is not the Dream of Mortal Life book. It's not the final one. Gary Hagen says in dark matter. What are you talking about? How can that be possible? Yes, it's in the dark matter. Jeff and Jerry, what are you talking about in the dark matter? Well, what do you mean? How can that be? It doesn't make any sense. Because dark matter isn't anything, but dark matter is potential energy. Let's go here and get this. And now you're going to see how you guys think. You say, I think I understand it because of what Chris has just shared. I'm telling you right now, except you become like a little child and wait till I tell you and say, now this is the finality. This last book is the final one, and this will tell you. I can't teach you calculus without first teaching you addition. You have to understand it. And I don't mean that in any arrogant way. I'm trying to help you folks understand. You've got it until you don't try to discuss these things. And Jeff says, yes, it's in the dark matter. What are you talking about in the dark matter, Jeff? Well, what are you talking about? See, that's what we need. This is dark matter here. See this dark matter? Nothing's there. Absolutely nothing is there. I've explained that this is just sitting there. And unless a human being acts on it, and nothing's there. And nothing is there. So what do you mean? So here's your true self and your true self's brain. And I'm talking about how your true self, and we know that both of these exist, at least they used to. This is your mortal self, having experiences on the earth where you live, right? But this person no longer exists. What are you talking about? So what you're saying is you believe, according to the Human Reality book and some of the things you were taught as little children, you believe that as this person, your mortal self, had experiences, it was uploaded to space. It was uploaded to dark matter. Okay? So let's say that. Let's say that that's happened. So it's uploaded to dark matter. Where's it at? This person no longer exists. Where are those memories? How come it's nothing? How come you see nothing? Come on, guys. It's so easy, but see, you can't if you don't know. There's nothing there. Here's your true self. How can your true self access something in dark matter? It's not there. Where's the memory? Because I would have shown it. Here's your mortal self. Your mortal self on earth is having these experiences. I'm showing that the experiences occur in this brain. That's it. They're right here in this brain that you have on this earth. This earth right here. All these experiences and memories are right here. I'm not saying that you have an experience of sitting on a pot and all of a sudden, bam, there's a new smart, there's a new. And I didn't say that, and that's not what it means. You see? What are you talking about? Now, this should help those of you who follow this work to realize that, oh my God, no wonder Christopher gets so frustrated with us, because he knows we don't understand. But his patience and love for us is that he'll give us line upon line, precept on precept to help us. Okay? So, are you ready? Come on. Anybody else wants to give it a try? It's not that you're dumb. Help me. Kids, listen, when you're teaching kindergartner kids, and you ask them to have a question and answer session with you to say what they know. They don't look around the class and say, I don't want to look stupid. Little kids don't do that. They just ask the question. They don't think, oh, I don't want to ask the kid, I don't want to look stupid. They don't have that pride. Except you become like a little child. How the fuck am I supposed to learn to teach you guys if I can't get honest responses from you? Tanya says, Urim and Thummim. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Tanya. What you talking about? Urim and Thummim is here. It's two rocks here. Here's your on this earth. On this earth, two rocks. There's your Urim and Thummim. What the fuck you talking about? What are you talking about? An eternal one. Well, what are you talking about, Tanya? It doesn't make any sense. Here's your true self here. Right here. Here's your true self. Boom. Okay? This person here had all these life experiences, held these rocks, whatever. But guess what? In their brain, and this person here is gone. No longer exists. Done. Their body has gone back to the dust of the earth from which it was created. So how in the world can your true self access the memories of a person, brain, who's disintegrated and become part of the earth? Boy, you guys are fucking idiots. I'm sorry. I'm going to tell you right now. You actually think that? Does it make sense? There's people watching this now and saying, none of your answers are making any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. How in the world does this brain right here access life experiences of a person who no longer exists upon this earth? How the fuck does that happen? Excuse my language. Well, the edge of the galaxy attracted. Now, see, you guys are so far off. A little kid could understand this. A little kid. Because we're looking at dark matter. We're looking at space here. All right, you ready? You ready? Let's see if I can teach little kids. And I need to help you to understand this, because you don't understand it right now. Here's the incredible thing about this work. You don't understand it right now, but as soon as I explain it to you, you'll never be able to forget it. It's like a diode one-way energy trip. No. This advanced human right here has the capability to physically access the memories of the persons whose brain now is nothing more than the dust of this earth. On the true self, so mumble is semi-subconscious part of the truth. No, Scott. I appreciate all you smart ones trying to figure it out. You don't get it. It is so easy. So easy. Listen again. It's so easy. This earth exists in the vast amount of space. When this earth was created, this earth was created from dark matter, utilizing the sun in some way. We don't need to get into that. This earth, when it was created, affected dark matter. Okay, it affected dark matter. Obviously, anybody in the universe could see and know and sense that, oh, a earth is being created there, because it affected the dark matter that we're all part of. Our true self is part of this dark matter. Therefore, oh, here's a new earth. Let's get rid of this earth and let's start it over. Okay? So this is all we know. This is all our true self can access, is that all we can access is what's already there, what's there in space, in the universe. That's all we can do. And all of a sudden, this earth is created. And when it's created, dark matter is affected and changed. And we see that this earth is created. Of course, this goes along again with the sun. Sun was created and the earth, and because the earth needs the sun. Okay, all this was created, and we recognize that, oh, this is cool. So the creation of the earth, are you ready? The creation of the earth, let me write this out for you, because I want to make sure this makes sense, or I'm just going to get on myself and say, you suck at teaching. Let me put it here. The creation of the earth is an universal event, therefore a universal experience. It's a universal experience because it has affected dark matter in which all of us exist. When anything, the creation of the earth is a universal event, therefore a universal experience. So the fact that this earth is sitting right here, your true self can see that, can hear it, can taste it, can touch it if it wants. It has the ability. It can see it. It's an actual thing. You can see it. You can see it in the space. See it? See it, children? We just created this earth right here. And it has become a part of the universe's experience, right? It's a universal experience. It's right here. It's affected dark matter. It's affected it. Now, when they allowed me to write the Human Reality book, I did it in a way that, God, I hope people can get this and maybe they'll figure it out. But they couldn't, of course. So this becomes an experience, a universal experience. Okay, let's go here. Let's see. Let me see if I can say some things that spark this understanding in your brain. Okay. Anything that happens upon the earth, okay, becomes an earth experience. Okay, let's see now. Anything coming to anybody's mind? Anything's coming to anybody's mind now? How your true self remembers these bodies. Literally billions of people living on this earth have died. Come on. With those two things, let's see if somebody gets it. The creation of the earth is an universal event, therefore a universal experience. Anything that happens upon the earth becomes an earth experience. Come on, class. I'm just waiting because there's a minute delay. Has anybody got it yet? Damn it. God, folks, I get so frustrated. I'm sorry, Marie, and some of you, that I don't mean to cut you down. I get frustrated with myself. I just think, God damn it, you're supposed to teach these things, and you can't even teach these kids right. What are you doing? What's going on? Anybody? Anybody? Anything that happens on the earth becomes an earth experience. Let's give another clue. Let's try another thing. The creation of your body becomes part of the earth experience. Therefore, whatever you do to the environment of the earth becomes part of the earth experience. Now, hold on. I know somebody's giving a comment there. Let's see if you got it. Creation of your body becomes part of the earth experience. Therefore, whatever you do to the environment of the earth, or within the environment of the earth, whatever you do to the environment of the earth, or whatever becomes part of the earth experience. Okay, let me say some other things. I just want to get this right. I want to get this right. It's very important to understand. Everything has an energy frequency, so we turn to the frequency of the experience. Laura is getting there. Laura, you're awesome. I wish I could give you a big-ass kiss. No, Christine. No, you guys are not in there. Laura, you're getting close. Here's the deal. Laura's so close, and so I'm going to give it to you. I'm not going to make you wait anymore, folks. This earth and everything that happens on it, absolutely everything. Absolutely everything. Everything. Every time something on this earth, even if it's a butterfly flapping its wings, a new microbe that develops, a virus that does something, anything that acts, anything that this earth does, these are actually trillions, an infinite amount of things that happen within the earth's atmosphere here. Okay, the earth has an atmosphere, and all these things happen. There you are living thousands of years ago. There you are living 40 years ago. Here you are living now. Here you are. Here's everything. All these experiences affect the dark matter, affect the universe, and they're all recorded. And how are they recorded? Because they happened. They happened in Earth. They happened to dark matter. Thus, they're recorded there. As long as this Earth exists, in its atmosphere, well, even the satellites you throw out of the Earth atmosphere, all this stuff that humans do, you did it, humans did it. Everything that's done on this Earth, it becomes part of this Earth. It becomes part of this part of the dark matter, and dark matter was affected. Therefore, it's recorded there. So here you are living your life 10,000 years ago, and here you are living it today. You're having these experiences. All your true self has to do is focus the frequency of his brain on the frequency of what's happening in this part of the universe. And it'll know everything that's happened upon this earth. Thus, I see, Tanya. Thus, it's kind of like the Urim and Thummim, because that's how I see it. They're simply frequencies of energy. That's all anything is. Experiences are simply frequencies of energy. As long as the earth exists, everything that's happened upon this earth is part of the earth. That's why archaeologists can get in there in science and they can start to see, oh, this is what happened to the earth because we see this and this and this, and this is the result of this and this and this. But they got it wrong. They don't understand that humans were responsible for everything that happens on this earth for the billions of years that it's been there. Okay? That's all it is. That's all it is. So you at any time, so this earth, let's put it this way so you can understand. All of this stuff that's happened on this earth, all of this is a unique phone number. 1-800, I'm the coolest thing that ever happened to the universe. 1-800-666-6666. This is the frequency of everything that's happened on this earth. And all you got to do is get out your cell phone. Get out your cell phone. Jeez, your Urim and Thummim. And dial this number. And you'll have access to everything that's ever happened on this earth. Everything. From the very first microbe that changed forms or a human changed it. You can understand it all perfectly. Laura, once the earth is destroyed, then we're going to lose. Laura, you're so good. You're so good, Laura. You got it. You got it. Why do you think that we've spent billions of years trying to save this earth and humanity, this solar system? Why do you think? Because the fact that it's just not this earth, it's this solar system. The fact is, it's 1-800-666-666. It's the solar system's number. The solar system. Everything that happens in the solar system. Everything. You can see or you can observe anything at any time that happens in the solar system by tuning in to the frequency of this part of dark matter, the universe, and simply observing through your brain, your incredible brain, just like you would watch a video or see, but it's an incredible brain. You can watch everything that's happening, including what you did when you were connected to one of these avatars here. All of it. You can access this because it's here. But when it's destroyed, it all goes away. When this is destroyed, you can no longer access this. It's gone forever. Forever, folks. This solar system, everything that happened in this solar system, when it is going to be destroyed, this number no longer exists. It's out of the phone system of the universe. It no longer exists. You can't dial something that doesn't exist. Why do you think that the powers that be are spending so much time to try to get humans in the solar system do the right thing so that this solar system is not completely wiped out, so that everything that's ever happened is completely wiped out? The reason why, because this earth and what you're doing is not fulfilling the measure of its creation. Therefore, it no longer serves the purposes for which your true self would even create an earth. Why would you create an earth? Thus, your true self, Elohim, Jehovah, and Michael, see matter, unorganized, dark matter is not organized. Let's go organize it into a world with a sun, the moon, all these different things, likened to the ones that we have here, 2-4 form. Let's organize it in here so we can have this experience, this new experience. But when the experience is not going right, is not fulfilling the measure of our creation, and this is destroyed and wiped out, it no longer exists in the universe. The universe, and it doesn't exist. But look at our galaxy. Look at our galaxy, folks. This is an artist rendition, but let's just go with it. Okay? Hold on. Let me grab it here. Let me grab it. Sorry. Shoot. Hold on. Let's just go here. Look at the Milky Way galaxy. Look how many planetary systems are there. These are advanced planetary systems. Scott Davis, you hit it right on the money. I've said this before. The hell that a person's going to see is this. You're an advanced human, and you've created bonds with other advanced humans just by sharing the earth experience with them. And you're going to lose all of those experiences, thus affecting the bond that you have with an advanced human. Laura, no, that's not exactly right. Don't even go there. It's not right. Just go with what I just said. I don't know how to say it any better, folks. I just don't. I don't know. If I cleared up some things from yesterday, I fucking discount my ability to do my job. I just don't know. When I see your answer, I just see, my God, these are intelligent people. They want to know the truth. It's my job to teach them. And I stuck. But anyways, have a good day. Bye.